Friends, welcome back again to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another toy unboxing. We're going to be doing the NECA Friday the 13th Ultimate Pamela Voorhees action figure. So guys, my name is Matt and this is the Pop Complex. All right, friends, welcome back to the Pop Complex. As I stated, we're going to be unboxing the Friday the 13th Ultimate Pamela Voorhees figure from NECA. So don't forget to subscribe to the Pop Complex for more great videos as they come along from the channel. You can join my Patreon at patreon.com/the Pop Complex to support the channel monetarily there as well. So we're going to take a look at this. Of course, the box here has the classic original 1980 movie poster from Friday the 13th with the silhouette of the killer with knife in hand, and the Camp Crystal Lake, the cabin with the spooky background inside of the outline of the killer. So it says here on the front, they were warned, they are doomed, and on Friday the 13th, nothing will save them. So take a look at the box. We've got the classic Friday the 13th franchise logo there on the top. Same on both of the sides of the box. On the bottom here, as always, we have the NECA artistic creative team there. We have New Line Cinema. We've got all the barcode and legal information. Flipping around to the back, we have some nice photography of the figure itself. We've got Pamela Voorhees there in different poses, all mashed together. So if we open up the flap, we can see a nice photograph there of Mrs. Voorhees, of Pamela, on the edge of the lake as she appeared in Friday the 13th in 1980. Flipping around to this side, we can see the Pamela Voorhees figure right there, and it comes with 3 alternate heads and a few accessories there, but we're not going to get quite into that. As you can see what she already comes with and from the photography, but we're going to take a closer look and talk about these accessories once we get Pamela Voorhees out of the packaging. So guys, stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. All right guys, and we're back. Her name is Mrs. Voorhees, and she's a friend of the Christies. Here she is out of the packaging, guys. And from this point forward, I will potentially be mentioning some spoilers from the original Friday the 13th film from 1980. So here's your warning, guys. But I'm sure if you're watching this video, you have seen the film multiple times and are aware of what's going on. So she probably has the most famous blue cable knit sweater in all of horror movie history, but she is portrayed by Betsy Palmer, and I'm still kind of surprised and kind of loving the fact that Betsy Palmer actually agreed to be in this role as Mrs. Pamela Voorhees. And if you guys are fans of the Friday the 13th franchise, we all know that the reason that she accepted the role is that she would get paid $1,000 a day for 10 days work, $10,000, which I think was about 1/5 of the movie's total budget. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys, but she needed that money. It was exactly what she needed to buy a new car. Betsy Palmer needed to get a new car at the time, and that's what paid for it. So she did make a cameo appearance in Friday the 13th Part 2 as well for a brief scene of the vision of Mrs. Voorhees. But as we all know, guys, she was the killer in the original Friday the 13th film from 1980, not Jason, although that is debatable. If you go and watch Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, and you realize that Jason is alive and he is out there in the woods, maybe he was helping her commit some of the kills in the original Friday the 13th. It's not confirmed, but it could be theorized. So let me know what you guys think about that below in the comments. But Betsy Palmer, again, the reason why she agreed was for the $10,000 for a new car, but As a kid, I remember Betsy Palmer from the game show I've Got a Secret from the 1950s that used to rerun on the Game Show Network all the time. So when I put that connection together and years later saw this film, I was very surprised that Betsy Palmer took on this role. But very cool. So we're going to get into looking at the figure. So a closer look at Mrs. Voorhees. There's the maniacal grinning face, as you can see there in the classic hairstyle that she had in the film. There's the detail on the cable knit sweater, and on the back it's just kind of a smooth, but there is some detail, as you can see there, sculpted in to the sweater. She's wearing a pair of black jeans, as she did in the film, and black work boots. So a very basic figure. This is pretty simple, but we're going to take a look at these alternate heads, which I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with for my display. But here's the first head. It's kind of a screaming face. So that is Mrs. Voorhees screaming. Then we have this face, which I think looks really good. It's kind of a scared, concerned face. She's afraid Alice is going to get the best of her. And then we have this really creepy, psychotic, not really the grinning face, but more of a face that reminds me of the Killer Mommy, Killer.
Killer Mommy, Killer.
When she's channeling Jason at the end of the film. I may display her with this face because it looks really super creepy. It's very unsettling. So I think I like this one the best. Let's take a look at some of the hands that she comes with. Now she comes with, looks like 3 alternate left hands, and left as in we're looking at her straight on, 3 left hands. So we've got one here that is just a closed grip. So she can grip either the machete, the axe, or the knife that she comes with. We'll take a closer look. We've got a very closed fist here, and that looks like it's big enough to hold one of the arrows that she comes with. And again, we're going to take a look at these arrows, guys, here in just a moment. And then she also comes with this open, like pulling the bow string back on the bow there. And then the only alternate right hand that she comes with is another semi-closed gripping hand for either the machete or the axe, or she comes with a broken boat paddle, the oar. So let's take a look at these accessories, guys. She does come with the bow, and we've got here, it really has a string on it. Now I love the detail that NECA puts in these bows like that with the real string. I just hate the fact that they're super delicate. So when these come with the bow, like the Ninja Turtles with the shredder that comes with the actual strung bow, I really get nervous with this because I have had one of these real string bows break on another figure, on a Green Arrow, my DC Icons Green Arrow figure. The string broke in transition once, and I really hate that. But it's really cool. It's very realistic looking with the real string. So she does come with the bow, and she comes with, looks like, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 arrows. We'll get a little closer look here at these. As you can see, they have the multicolored tails there, red, green, and white. And as you can see, they are even notched. So these could actually rest on the string of the bow because they are notched, as you can see. And then the arrow tips, we've got one actual, like a hunting tip, as you can see here. Maybe the one that ran up through the bunk bed and through Kevin Bacon's character's neck in that iconic scene in the film, but the rest of these are just the normal broad-tipped arrow. So there's all 4 of the arrows. She does come with the axe. Again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of blood deco on these accessories, which if you're used to NECA horror figures, they do include a lot of blood on them, but there's just a little spot right there on the top of the axe there on this, and a little bit on the edge of the blade, as you can see here, and then on the back. So this is really the only thing that has blood on it. And this is probably a callback to that scene where they find the axe in the bed with the blood on it, because it's there on the edge. That's what it looks like to me. She comes with the classic machete, which I think she used for the majority of her appearance at the end of the film. I think this is the weapon that she used the most. If I had to say, I just watched Friday the 13th, the original one, about maybe a week ago. So I've had a fresh viewing, but here's the classic machete that I think she uses the most. No blood on that either. She does come with a small dagger, or a small hunting knife, a non-serrated hunting knife, it looks like. And the final accessory here is the broken boat oar that is at the end of the film when she is struggling with Alice. And as you can see here, it looks really nice. There's a little gradient effect here where it's kind of dirty. You can see the worn wood grain there. It's a little darker up near the top by the handle rather than the paddle. Maybe it's a little bit cleaner where the paddle's been cutting through the lake water. This is an incredible accessory, guys. And even the broken end here, as you can see, has like a very jagged, splintery looking end. So this is a very detailed accessory here in this action figure set. So now that we've taken a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the articulation on Mrs. Voorhees. And just a little fun fact, the box says Ultimate Pamela Voorhees, and we all know as fans of Friday the 13th that her name is Pamela Voorhees. But in the first film, Friday the 13th, where she makes her first appearance, her name Pamela is not mentioned. She just calls herself Mrs. Voorhees. We don't know her first name as being Pamela until all the way in Friday the 13th, part 4, the final chapter, when we see her gravestone that says Pamela Voorhees. But ever since that film, her name is Pamela Voorhees. But in the first film, it was just Mrs. So her head is on a classic ball joint. As you can see, we can pop that off and pop one of the other heads on. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, guys, that was a little tough to get this head on, but I got that on, and I put on the super creepy head that I like that I'm going to display it with. So she can get a full 360-degree rotation on that ball joint, and there is another ball joint under the sweater slightly, where the neck can kind of get a little bit of a side-to-side other than just what's on the ball joint, but it's not a whole lot of extra movement there. The arms, as we can see, are a classic shoulder swivel there, so she can get nearly a 90-degree angle outward. I wouldn't really want to kind of move that up any further. The sculpting of the sweater kind of prevents that, but that's okay. And you can get forward and back, a full 360-degree rotation. We've got the classic NECA elbow joint. It's a little stiff here, so I'm not gonna move it too much. These joints always kind of scare me in figures because some of them are so fragile. But there's her elbow articulation. Her hands are on a swivel and rocker, so she can kind of get a forward and back rocking movement on the hands, but a full 360-degree swivel. So that's going to give you pretty much any angle that you're going to need there on the wrist. She's got an ab crunch under the sweater. Of course, you can't see that because it's sculpted underneath this sweater piece, but she has that ab crunch, so you can get some twisting and forward and back at the stomach level, at the ab. There seems like there's a hip swivel there, but I'm not sure if this sweater is really restricting a lot of the exploration of that piece of articulation, so I'm not really sure if that's rotating at the ab or if there's probably not one. I don't think, looking at this and kind of manipulating, that there's one at the waist. I think it's just that ab swivel there. The legs are on a classic NECA leg ball joint and swivel, so we can get about that far out, which Pretty surprising that Mrs. Voorhees took a lot of abuse in the film, and I think Betsy Palmer put up with a lot of those stunts that you typically wouldn't think that someone of her range and her experience and her status wouldn't really want to go for. But yeah, she was very active in the film. Very physical performance from Betsy Palmer. So great stuff there. The knee is a typical knee swivel there, a knee joint from NECA, with the pants kind of coming down over in that triangular shape over that hides the knee joint, which I'm a really big fan of. That's about as far back as her knee is going to get. And of course, there's some side to side on that swivel as well. And then we have the ankle rocker and swivel, which again, we're running into the situation where the bottom of the pant leg kind of restricts the movement there. But you can see you get a side to side and probably almost a nearly full 360 degree rotation on that. But why would you? Because people's feet don't bend backwards. So that's a look at the articulation. So I am really, as I'm manipulating this figure around and looking at it closer, I'm really a fan of this head. So I'm going to leave this head on for the display. It's creepy and it's unsettling, and I think it really personifies the Pamela Voorhees look from that first Friday the 13th film. So the head that I'm not really a fan of is a screaming head. I think it sort of loses something. It looks very strange. It doesn't look like Betsy Palmer as much with the screaming face. It kind of looks like maybe Lou Reed if you take a closer look, or someone else. Tell me who it was in the comments, guys, that played the ghost in Scrooged from the New York Dolls. I'm blanking on his name, but let me know in the comments. It sort of looks like him, this face. So I'm not going to use that one, but this face I think is the classic, and this looks most like Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees. So guys, thanks for tuning in. That was the ultimate by NECA, the ultimate Pamela Voorhees Friday the 13th figure. So again, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video to the Pop Complex. You can also support me again monetarily by joining my Patreon at patreon.com/the Pop Complex. Thanks, guys, and have a horrifying day.